This sparse landscape can look dry and lifeless to the average observer, but not to Jill Terp. She manages the San Diego National Wildlife Refuge east of Bonita and Chula Vista. When her eyes sweep across this hillside, she sees habitat and history.
We're out here in this area that burned in the 2003 and 2007 fires, and we're looking at some of the recovery of the coastal sage scrub community in this area. This is Artemisia californica. This is coastal sage, the plant that this habitat community is named for.
The plant used to dominate the Southern California coast. Development supplanted most of the endangered coastal sage scrub habitat, and the remaining pockets are constantly threatened. Fire did the damage here.
So you can see areas where maybe the burn was a little less intense and maybe didn't burn so much in the later fire. And then maybe these areas that are more bare of vegetation were burned more heavily or were more affected at both times.
Terp wants to understand how the native plants are bouncing back on the refuge's more than 11,000 acres. She says nurturing the habitat will nurture endangered species. That includes birds like the California gnatcatcher and least Bell's vireo, and the Kino checker spot butterfly. She says when people understand that, their perspective can change.
We want people to learn about the plants and animals that are out here, understand it's the natural heritage of this area, and by developing that appreciation in folks, that'll help us to do better at conserving these lands.
And the Wildlife Refuge just sits right over that hill into the next valley. It's sitting right next to a major urban area, East Lake. The homes crowded on this hillside sit on land that used to look like the refuge. The suburbs won't encroach on the refuge. The lands are protected from development. But Andy Ewan hopes the people will visit.
We think the San Diego National Wildlife Refuge is the archetype of an urban refuge. We are literally on the doorstep of 3.5 million people. You step outside of downtown San Diego, and in minutes you are out in tremendously productive wildlife habitats.
Ewan says with so many people so close, there are many opinions about the best management strategies. People are interested in preserving access to the trails. They want pristine habitat. But the issue that drew the most fire from the public was a proposal that allows for hunting in part of the refuge. There's a chance here to hunt small game or game birds.
It's sandwiched by lands that are already open to the public for hunting. So hunting is allowed on the Bureau of Land Management lands here and on the California Department of Fish and Wildlife lands here. So our addition of our refuge lands fills in that gap between two areas that are already available for hunting to the public.
That riled environmentalists. An online petition to ban hunting has bagged more than 80,000 signatures. Biologist Renee Owens is not surprised, and she says guns are a concern.
Personally, when I go walk my dogs in Forest Service land, I don't go during certain hunting seasons. It's better safe than sorry. So I do alter my own recreation based on what's going on.
Owen says hunters are a small and shrinking minority, but they are vocal. She acknowledges that federal officials are trying to balance a mandate to allow different kinds of recreational activities on refuge lands, but she thinks hunting can be left out.
The truth is, a lot of these users, hikers, bikers, equestrians, photographers, birders, don't want firearms in their outdoor experience. It's pretty much that simple. And then there's all of the safety questions and increased fire risk.
Fish and Wildlife's Andrew Ewan says refuge managers are considering 4 different proposals. The alternatives contain plans for habitat protection, recreational access, and hunting. He says the final plan could be just one alternative or contain parts of several proposals. Even then, the resulting plan won't be chiseled in stone.
Over time, we're going to be monitoring the success of the refuge in terms of recovery of endangered species, the health of the native plant communities, the opportunities for the public to enjoy these lands, and we're going to evaluate that over time.
Ewan is pleased that people are speaking out about the refuge's future. He says that tells him people care. In fact, enough people are speaking out that the initial public comment period has been extended 30 days until the middle of September. Eric Anderson, KPBS News.